always credit where credit's due. You know, I know Ted Sarandos will be here later on today, and Ted has been such an incredible partner in the partnership my husband and I have had with Netflix for the past.
Meghan Markle fuming, her public humiliation at the 2025 TIME100 Gala red carpet, where Olympic icon Simone Biles bluntly refused to call her Duchess. Yes, you heard that correctly, in a single, calculated snub, one of the world's most revered. Athletes stripped away Meghan's cherished title, exposing the fragility of her carefully crafted image.
Sending those as gifts, one day Bella said, "There's a show here." And I hadn't at the onset thought that that was something that I wanted to share in that way. And creatively, we worked as partners to really find a way for it to land and for me to be able to share it.
For those just tuning in, the TIME100 Gala is a glittering celebration of global influence, a night where the world's elite gather to toast achievement and power. Meghan Markle arrived in full regal regalia, gown, glam, and that Duchess title front and center, expecting the usual adulation. But what she encountered was a room less enchanted with her royal cosplay.
Thank you for asking that. Well, look, I think for me, part of what's really, really important is that love language of taking care of people also really feeds me.
Her journey from Suits actress to royal bride had once captivated millions, but the sheen has worn thin. Simone Biles, the most decorated gymnast in history, a woman who has conquered adversity with grace, was asked about Meghan during a press interaction. What followed was a brief but brutal moment that turned the red carpet into a stage for Meghan's downfall. Biles did not flinch. She did not stumble. She simply called her Meghan no Duchess, no Her Royal Highness, just a flat, pointed Meghan. And in that omission, the cultural tide shifted, the tension began to simmer as Meghan, ever the performer, tried to bask in the gala's glow. She spoke of love languages and taking care of people, her words dripping with that familiar self-congratulatory tone. But Biles was not playing along. This was not a slip of the tongue or a polite oversight. It was a deliberate statement, a refusal to validate Meghan's self-appointed royalty.
But a lot of times, if you're doing it in a way where you are giving in a way that is thoughtful and intentional and so authentic, it actually...
In the world of elite PR and red carpet etiquette, titles matter, and Biles, a woman who has earned her stripes through sweat and sacrifice, made it clear she does not buy into Meghan's hollow branding. The crowd noticed, the cameras caught it. And Meghan, sources say, was seething behind that forced smile, her eyes darting as the snub sank in. Her history of leveraging titles for media attention, from Oprah to Netflix, made this rejection sting. All the more is it not delicious, how the woman who demands respect cannot command it when it counts.
And then you just watch the extensions of that, where Netflix coming on as my business partner for the brand, as ever, is really an extension of the evolution of our partnership together, and they complement each other.
The climax came not with words, but with silence. Biles, with her unshakable composure, did not need to raise her voice or throw a barb. Her refusal to acknowledge the Duchess title was louder than any headline. This was not just one woman brushing off another. It was an Olympic champion rejecting the delusion of Meghan's Duchess fantasy. Biles has faced real adversity, abuse, scandals, Olympic pressure, and emerged with authenticity, a stark contrast to Meghan's narrative of victimhood built on unverified tales and curated complaints.
Is part of how I take care of myself, and tapping into what really ignites my joy is part of that, and being creative has really, really been anchored in that for that. It has.
That's okay. That's amazing.
Season 2 is coming.
So that's your like first platform, or one of your platforms. The second is your product line, as ever.
Insiders claim Meghan's team scrambled backstage, furious that Biles, a global icon, had dared to undermine her. The red carpet footage, now viral, shows Meghan's awkward posture, her glances betraying a desperation for validation she did not receive. Her reaction reportedly included a heated exchange with aides, demanding they address the slight, but the damage was irreversible. Let us talk facts, not fluff. Meghan's appearance at the gala was not about honor, it was about optics. Time 100 invites high-profile names for relevance and clicks, not necessarily respect. Her Spotify podcast, Archetypes, was axed after one season, with executives reportedly calling the Sussexes grifters.
And development and manufacturing, we had a feeling that it would have some buzz surrounding it. 45 minutes was...
Her Netflix animated series, Pearl, never saw the light of day, cancelled amid budget woes and lackluster interest, and her activism, a mix of contradictions and self-promotion that has left audiences rolling their eyes, from jam jars to wellness retreats. Biles' snub was not just personal, it reflected a broader disillusionment. Other attendees offered Meghan a cold shoulder, no selfies, no warmth, just the stiff tolerance of a fading celebrity.
Is your podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, and you've had some of the most incredible women on your show. You're really supporting women, and I love that. We need more.
Perfect complement for what I was building at this point in my life. Between the series and between the brand, I thought, how interesting is it?
This gala was not about legacy. It was about Meghan clinging to headlines, and Biles saw through it, a mirror to her declining influence. The public reaction has been swift and scathing. Hashtags like Duchess Delusion and Meghan's Nubbed are trending on X and Instagram, with comments mocking her entitlement.
Moments. And so I think some of the confessions that I have shared on the show include, I'll give you an example, the unboxing experience. So I went online, I bought all these cardboard boxes, bought all the tissue paper and the filler and everything that should go inside, and I just sat there in my kitchen.
She wants to be called Duchess but trashes the royals. Pick a side. One user quipped. Polls from the Daily Mail show her UK popularity has tanked, with 70% viewing her title use as hypocritical since stepping back in 2020. The British press, from The Sun to The Telegraph, is reveling in the moment, calling her a montachito mirage, a jab at her lavish exile. Even American outlets like The Atlantic are questioning her authenticity, a far cry from the fairy tale welcome she once enjoyed. Online forums buzz with debates, with some fans defending her past charm while others decry her opportunism. Meghan's media empire is crumbling under the weight of this rejection. Celebrities are distancing themselves, a pattern becoming impossible to ignore. Sharon Osbourne called her manipulative, Tina Fey mocked her contradictions, and Martha Stewart hinted at her sympathy fatigue. The Obamas, once potential allies, with their Netflix ties, have kept their distance, skipping Sussex events and leaving Meghan off Michelle's tour mentions. The Beckhams, after a fallout over leaked story claims, have gone silent, and Oprah, post-Oprah interview, offers no defense. These are power players who built substance, not self-pity, and they are done propping up Meghan's brand, insiders suggest. She is fuming, blaming her team for not anticipating Biles' move, but the elite are walking away, and her isolation is palpable. Rumors swirl of a new PR strategy, perhaps a tell to regain control. So, what does this mean for Meghan? This Time 100 snub marks a turning point. She left the royals claiming freedom, yet clings to a title she denounces, using it to sell memoirs and wellness products from her $14 million mansion. Biles, a true role model of resilience, exposed the gap between Meghan's performance and authenticity. The public, the press, and now the elite are turning away, leaving her a fading celebrity grasping at a royal past. Her Netflix deals are faltering, public trust is eroding, and this could be the end of her influence. If she doubles down on victimhood, the backlash may intensify, with legal battles or a retreat to obscurity looming. For those who have sensed her story was a house of cards, you are not alone. This is just the start. Subscribe for the latest on Meghan's downfall and the royal ripple effect, because this drama is far from over. When Biles refused to use the term Duchess, she did more than just withhold a title. She withheld validation that Meghan craves, not because she earned it, but because she believes she's entitled to it. Simone doesn't need a palace or a crown to be influential. She's built her legacy from scratch under pressure most of us couldn't imagine. Meghan, on the other hand, is still trying to repackage her royal moment as a movement. It's no coincidence Biles opted out of the Duchess charade. She knows the difference between authenticity and performance, and Meghan Markle, she's become the face of the latter, and then there's the title, the Duchess of Sussex, the one Meghan Markle uses in every bio, brand deal, and public appearance. Here's the hypocrisy. She and Prince Harry spent years slamming the royal family in interviews, documentaries, podcasts, you name it. They called it racist, cold, outdated, and colonial. They said they escaped the palace to live freely, so why? Keep the title if Meghan truly believed in distancing herself from the institution? That's likely why the Obamas declined to attend the Sussexes' royal wedding anniversary events, didn't publicly support their Netflix projects, and most tellingly excluded them from Barack's star-studded 60th birthday bash in 2021 even at Michelle. Obama's the light we carried toward Meghan's name never came up, not once. Why? Because the Obamas understand image management, and aligning with Meghan now is a liability, not a legacy move. Then there's the Beckham fallout. Once considered Sussex allies David and Victoria Beckham were guests at the royal wedding, but behind the scenes everything soured. Reports emerged confirmed by the Times that Meghan accused the Beckhams of leaking stories to the press. A baseless paranoid claim. David Beckham was reportedly furious and demanded an explanation from Harry. Since then, the Beckhams have kept their distance. No invites, no support, no appearances. And let's face it, David and Victoria know brand survival better than most. They don't need royal drama tarnishing their global fashion and sports empire.